Welcome back to another video. I am back on the bike build. Interesting day today, exciting day. I've got quite a few bits that have come in and I want to do some more investigation on the engine. May even possibly do a compression test today if I'm able to get that far. So I'm going to quickly show you guys what bits I've got now, and I'll show you what I'm doing today. All right guys, so a couple of things that's come in today. Get some oil come in, 10W40. That's 4-stroke motor oil, so I got that. Also received my compression tester, which I need to do the compression test. Hopefully these fit. I'm sure one of these should fit. Also got a couple of things that have come in as well. Most notably the clocks, and these are actually the clocks, the original clocks for the bike. Reasonable condition. There is some bruising around here which I hopefully can get polished out. If not, I'd have to replace this section here, but the rest of them seem fine, and more importantly the harness and connections are there. Talking about harnesses and connections, you guys might remember I had to get a new harness. I haven't checked this to see and make sure this is the correct harness, but it's supposed to be, so hopefully it is. It has the fuses in there as well, which the other one didn't have. So I'm going to investigate and see where they actually cut this one off. If you remember the last video that I did, I realized only when I was inspecting the bike that someone had cut this harness off right here. So it looks around, there's another fuse supposed to be in here. It looks around this section here, and actually on the new one that I've got, the fuse holder is actually broken. So, or is it a fuse holder? Whatever it was that goes on this cover here. So I could take this part off and put it on the new harness that I've got. So if you look at it here, it's pretty much the same here. So the part that seems to be cut off is this section here, which is all the stuff on the back. So you've got the fuses which sit under the seat, and this is probably going to be backlights. I think one of these is going to be the coil for the rear. So I'm gonna have to figure out which one's which. I have the schematic with the colored wiring, so we should be easily able to find that out. And these connections are here. These ones are all up front, but obviously because I've got two harnesses, I can always make one out of the two if I had to take some bits. So it would just mean, you know, cutting wires and joining them, heat shrinking them and all that stuff. Should be able to do that. So that's that. What else did we get? We got a couple of tools as well that I needed. So I've managed to get the nuts to open this and the nut size to open here. So I got those as well. So when I'm ready to take the engine out, I can do that quite easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue draining the oil. I started the last time. I'm going to drain all of it out. I'm also going to take the sump out, this cover under here, and have a look and inspect it just to see if there's any metal bits or anything in it, you know, which again will indicate some engine damage. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, investigate that, and also look around to see if there's any oil leaks and why we had such low oil in here. One of you mentioned about an oil cooler. I think I did do some research. I don't think this model has an oil cooler. I think this is a Japanese model, although I could be wrong, because that looks like something here. I've got to find out what that is. But my understanding was that the Japanese models don't have it. Some of the UK models do. So, but I'm not sure what this connection is here. I'm wondering if this could have been an oil cooler connection. So I'm going to jump into the Haynes manual as well and investigate and see what was here. And actually there's another one here. Oh, these are the exhaust ports, the front exhaust ports. So yeah, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Anybody knows, let me know. But yeah, I'm gonna check that out and see if we can I'd really like to do a compression test today. So I'm going to jump onto this first and just make sure that this is not an oil outlet or anything. And if it isn't, and I don't find anything too dodgy in there, then we may fill her up with oil and do a test on these cylinders with the engine in. I'd like to leave the engine in for now. So yeah, let's do that and see how we get on. Alright guys, so here we go. I have drained the last out of this engine. I've taken off all the bolts except for this one, which I'm going to take off now, and then we're going to take this off. Now actually, as I'm looking already, it does look like to me I can see a crack in the sump. So that looks like it needs investigating. To me that looks like we've got a crack here, and that could explain what happened with the oil. So I want to take it off. I'll have a look and see if that crack has all gone all the way through. There you go, so sump is off. So let's have a look. Alright guys, here we go. So this is the sump. And to be honest, looking already, this looks pretty clean. Looks pretty clean. Obviously the oil filter could collect stuff, which is another place to really look, but just looking in here, I would have expected to see something in here, and I can't see anything at all. Now that crack, which was somewhere over here, I think, I'm gonna have to clean this out so I can investigate to see if that crack is a surface on the outside or whether it's all the way through. But I think I'm probably gonna end up wanting to change this anyway. So let me clean this up. But it doesn't look like we've got any metal bits in this at all. So that is another relief for me. It seems pretty clean. The oil seems quite clean. Okay, result. Alright guys, here we go. So I've given this a quick clean up. You guys can see, getting a nice little, just a quick clean up to have a look inside and look around the back. So I've looked, if you look on this side where I saw that main crack here, and also there's some around here as well, and here seems to be stress around these sort of points here, these sort of points. There's also a minor cracking at the corners and around all of these. I think this is just age related. This is aluminum obviously, but it doesn't look like anything's gone all the way through, especially where that crack is here. There's nothing here, so I don't think anything was leaking out of here. And to be honest, it wasn't that oily at the bottom, so I don't think there was any cracking under here. But I can clean these up eventually and polish them up and see if there's some way of sort of filling these fine cracks. I know you can get aluminium welded, but I'm not sure whether or not it'd be easier to get a new sump. The problem with these older things, if you get a second-hand one, it's probably going to end up having the same sort of things in it. So getting a new one's probably going to be a problem. So it might be a way of just trying to salvage this. So it seems fine. And as I said, we get no metals or shavings, so I'm pretty sure we don't have anything catastrophic like bearings gone and something like that. So moving on next, I was just about to while I was waiting for that to soak in some cleaner, I wanted to see which one of these fitted. So I've got 4 of these. The smallest one is still too big, slightly too big. So unfortunately, I cannot get these on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if Halfords have got any of these. I'm going to find out what the actual size of the plug is, if they've got it. If they have, I'll quickly pop down there and get one, and then I can come back onto this. Alright guys, so I've just been checking out the starter motor. I actually took it out, took it apart, and it looks fine inside. give it a little brush up and that. But we have a short between the live, which is this one, and the ground. So I need to figure out what that short is before I can crank this starter motor. So basically there's only this live cable here, which runs here, runs into here, runs up the back here, and ends up here. So the only thing I can think is if there's a cut in this cable somewhere and it's touching the body. So I'm gonna have to take this cable out, because at the moment I'm getting a short. It was a bit clamped quite tight here, so I'm wondering if it's cut into it somewhere, or here. I'm not sure. It is bent quite tight here. I'm wondering if it's got a little cut here somewhere. So I'm gonna have to trace that and find out where this short is. I'm gonna take this wire out. So just to show you what I mean about that short. So here's my multimeter, which is in continuity mode. So basically when I have a short, it should beep like that. So normally when you touch the ground here and the live, you shouldn't get a beep, but I'm getting a beep. So there is a short somewhere, and I got to figure it out. So I'm going to take this wire out and see if there's a damage in it somewhere. It might have a cut in it. I'm suspecting that it's been cut somewhere. So I've taken it apart. So if I can't really see anything, let's see if the short is still there. No, it's still there. Interesting. Why? Oh, I'm going to take the cable off completely. We still have a short here. Unless I'm reading this wrong, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to have a short here. I'm going to take this off again, off the bike, and I'm going to check it for shorts off the bike, and I'm going to crank it again off the bike and see what happens. Unless there's an internal short in here. It didn't have a short a minute ago when I tried it, so let's see. Okay. We got it now. I'm going to try it now off the bike. Yes, I do have a short. I feel like I didn't a while ago. I'm going to connect it to the battery and see if it spins. Okay, let's try this. Right, so it looks like we're good. Let's check again if we've got that short. Yes, we do. Or do we? So maybe this is normal. I really didn't think you would have a short on there, but it seems like there is. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I'm understanding it wrong, but we do have a short and it's working. So let me just check it again. Okay. All right, so we're gonna put it back in and let's try again. I mean, I understand the brushes are touching, so I guess maybe that means that they will always short. As I said, guys, this is me learning on the job. Well, that's a good sign then. Our live cable, battery cable is good then, if that's the case. All right. Okay. Hi guys, just a quick update. So I have just put in some, I've got the starter motors working, I know it's working. I've just topped up the oil, well, I put in fresh brand new oil, 2.5 litres, pretty much full. I've checked to the dipstick, leveled the bike, come back and check it again, and we're spot on with the oil. So I'm happy to be able to turn over the engine now. So I'm gonna do a compression test now, what 4 cylinders to do. So we're gonna see if I can get that done. So another issue I came up to is this set unfortunately does not have the size I need. I think we've got 18, 14, 12 and M10, and the bike spark plug is an M8. It looks like the next size down, but I didn't know. I noticed that you can use these. Apparently you just wedge this rubber thing in there and get a tight seal and then stick the gauge on the back there. So I'm going to try that. So let's see how we get on. Alright guys, so we've got these two open already. So I've taken all the plugs out. So this basically just should go straight in and hold a tight seal here. I'm going to hold it down in the hole and then I'm going to crank the engine. Let's see what happens. This is our first reading. 120, 130, about 130. That's the first one. I'm not sure how good that is. Probably would have liked to see a bit more, but I'm not sure how good the seal is on this. But let's try the others and see if we get. We're really looking for very, very similar readings on all of the cylinders. Go number 2. So just a little bit more. I'll call that 135. Call that 135. Even, yeah, 135. Okay, so that's a good look. Now it's getting to these two on here. The tricky ones. Good. so this one's looking a bit poor. That's about 115. About 115. So that's a big difference there. I might try it again. I'm not sure how well I got that in there, but let's try another one. It is a bit awkward to get the angle. Let's see. Okay, well, this one's quite a lot more. So this one's about 145. So I'm going to try that last one again, because I'm not sure if I really got that in there properly. But that's a big difference with these two. Yeah, so we got a little bit more. Call that 120. So at the moment we're sort of between 120 and 140. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look up to see how good or how bad that is. But at least we do have compression on all of the cylinders. It's better than us having no compression, and the engine is turning over. So hopefully there shouldn't be massive jobs to get some better compression. Could be some seals that need replacing, but I think that we're probably not doing too bad. Okay, so moving on. Hi guys, I've been busy. So yeah, I've had some real good progress. I've been really having a lot of fun working on the electrics, which is my thing. I love working on that sort of stuff, going through the schematics, finding out where everything is. I changed the wiring loom around. So far everything looks good on the loom. Everything seems to be working where it should so far. Also I've able to power the bike to an extent, just to get sort of power, get some lights on the speedo, essentially the dash, because I fitted that as well. I also replaced the cylinder, the key lock as well, so that I was able to turn the ignition and get some sort of lights coming up on it. So I'll quickly show you guys what I've been up to. All right guys, so it looks a real mess. Did not worry about all this makeshift stuff that I've got here, but I've been using this to just sort of test stuff. Obviously you saw me turn over the engine, and I used some sort of makeshift setup. So I've changed the wiring harness. This is all the new harness that's all been tapped in, which is all here. This has all been tapped in. I've managed to find out a couple of things. For instance, these two are going to be the main headlamps, and these two are the front indicators. So I've managed to sort, that's the last things in the front, so that's quite easy. I've done a bit of a makeshift here with the connection to this, because this is an aftermarket and it's a different connection, so I've had to figure out the wiring, and I'll solder these and put some heat shrink and tidy that all up. But that's how it's going to be for now, unless I decide later to change this. If I change this, well, I might change it, I don't know. It needs to be longer as well, and it's got to go into here. So this is the old one. I had to hack it and make this connection. Everything else here is pretty much connected. What isn't connected, I know what it is, and I've also figured out what other electrical components I need. So I need the main fuse and starter relay, which apparently is in one block, and that connects to one of these down here somewhere. No, connects to here, which is where I've put the power in. This is actually where the main power from the battery comes in. So I need to get that little block with the main fuse on it. The rectifier goes on here, which I've actually ordered. That should be on its way. All these fuses are fine. They're all coming up in the right places. So I've been spending quite a lot of time on that stuff. So I'll show you guys how far I got. So these are the clocks, obviously. This is the key. So when you turn the key on, you can see already I've got an oil light. So a couple of the, obviously I haven't got an ignition relay or a control unit, so I can't, or a starter relay, so I can't actually do the ignition from there. But a couple of the buttons that we can mess about with. For instance, the lights. So you've got here a high beam, so when I press onto high, you get the high beam light come on. When I take it off, it goes off, as you can see. So that's there. The turn signals, you won't get anything because I don't have the relay for the indicators, but the passing light does work, as you can see when I press that. So that's sort of like flashing someone. So that's working. What else did I do? Oh yes, the horn is down here, so that is connected. I've connected the horn, so that's all working. So electrically, so far it seems that the loom seems all fine, the new loom that I've picked up now. So I've made a list of these other components that I need to get, which, as I said, mainly is the main fuse. I want to get the starter relay and the rectifier, which is on its way. I want to try and get things up to the point where I can try to start this. I'm pretty confident that the engine is fine at the moment to try and start. I'm not going to take the carbs off yet. Let's see if we get any starting issues first. Most importantly is I want to see if I can get the bike started. That's what I'm going to be doing next. So get all these electrical parts, as I said. So I've got all these wires everywhere. I've also got the subframe on its way as well, so then I'll be able to sort of put things in like the battery and tidy things up and connect things up properly. Also, I disconnected the HD leads, obviously, which is here because I don't want sparking and stuff here, but I need another one for the rear 2 cylinders, so I'm going to try and order one of those and the ignition control unit, and then we can, because we're going to need that before we can try and start it. So I think the next time I'm on the bike will be to try and get the last of those electrics connected up, and then we're looking at trying to see if we can get this bike started. Hey guys, so happy days. It's a busy day for me. It's starting to get a little bit chilly, so I'm about to go inside. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today and the progress so far. Yeah, if you can help me with any of the things you've seen, keep bringing the advice in. I really appreciate it. It's really helpful. I'm going to be doing some more research, reading up on the Haynes, back to the schematics, and trying to see if I can get some more of these parts. So yeah guys, until the next video, I'll see you soon. Take care.